So if people want to take this stream and upload it, do whatever the hell you want with it. I think we found some really good stuff here.
Hello. I'm gonna steal this water.
Do it.
I think it's probably for me anyway, so it's not stealing. So don't go home and pick me on as a thief. Steal stuff.
But you already stole our hearts.
What?
But you already stole our hearts.
Oh, hush. Stole our hearts. No, that's Phantom Thief Dark, I believe.
I don't know. Let's give him a butterfly.
Close those doors. Don't worry. I'm not gonna kill all of you. Lock the doors and I'll whip out the machete.
The jester from yesterday.
Pardon?
The jester from yesterday, Will.
Oh, yeah. How many of you were not here yesterday? Yay, hello, welcome. Welcome. I'm so glad you're here. All right, we have a new mascot.
Sponsor of McDonald's.
Yesterday was the creepy old guy, and today it's Chick-fil-A.
Or we'll lay an egg somewhere. Or eat some chicken nuggets, one of those.
I'd like to take a minute, real quick before we get going. There's been, as many of you may know, we talked about it a little bit yesterday. There's been some ugliness online, and I addressed some of it yesterday. I didn't want to, spend the whole time being a downer. You know what I mean? And oh, this is horrible. And then, and you're like, wow, we came in here to have a good time and talk about anime, and Vic's falling apart there. What's happening? That was certainly not my intention. I hope you guys know that, right? Never my intention. But for those of you that are here today for the first time, you can see probably online, somebody probably shot some video yesterday, and it's up there, and you can kind of see, go back and see what I talked about. But I would just like to touch on a couple of things, if I may. Is that okay with you guys, all of you?
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you. First of all, be mindful. I am open to any questions you have. But remember, there are a lot of different ages in the room. Okay? So let's decide that we're going to be conscientious of that. Okay? Yesterday, I mentioned something to people that have been supportive and kind and supportive of me online, and I said something about that I didn't want you guys to put yourselves in a position to get ridiculed and attacked yourselves. And I don't want that. Never. But there's another element I would like to add to it. There is so much hate in the world right now. I mean, forget me. I mean, look around. I'm not talking about I'm talking in general. There's so much hate. People just, being offended and hurt and outraged. It's everywhere. And I've spent my career trying to spread positivity, trying to be warm and open and kind and supportive and encouraging. I'm sure I failed sometimes, right? Nobody's all 100% all the time, and I'm sure not either. But that's what I've spent my career trying to do, is to spread that. And so the second part of what I would like to ask of you who have been kind and been supportive online, Number one, don't put yourself in a position to be hated on. I don't want that for you. I wouldn't wish that on anyone. But also, spread love. Spread positivity. Because you know what, guys? Hate begets hate. And if you meet hatred with hatred, you just get more hatred. You know what I mean? It's a simple equation. The only thing that can change people and maybe the world we live in and hearts and attitudes is love, is kindness, is positivity. And I know that it's easy to be cynical today. I do. I get it. I see it, you know? And like I told you yesterday, I'm just like you. I mean, so I've been lucky to play some characters over the years that you guys have enjoyed. That's really great, but I'm just a dumb, you know, I'm just a dumb, simple human being. You know, just trying to do my best. But what I want more than anything is for you guys to spread positivity and love. Be kind to people, even if they're not kind to you. Because the cycle will never be broken if you meet people with exactly the same anger, right?
Well, here's Christopher Sabat, his co-star. This is the kind of people these guys are. And you know what the difference is between classy people in Japan? The Japanese actors would never throw each other under the bus like this unless there was some kind of proof, because they have honor. Christopher Sabat, this guy has no honor. He just throws the dude under the bus with nothing. Wow, someone got on the wrong side of the bed. Firstly, I don't write the DBS scripts. I just think you're being too sensitive about them. And then he says, going crazy about the voice acting stuff. By voice actors going crazy, do you mean voice actors supporting the victims and sharing their own experiences? Because that's not going crazy. That's called being honest. You should probably pay close attention to them because they are the people who actually know what's going on. Right? And you want to know what's going on? This kind of shit. So I pulled off that list. So this is a Vic rant. This is something that they're using to say that he's this crazy, sick, perverted guy. And you know how this all starts? It's a rumors panel.
Yeah. So here is her setup. Now she's been losing money on Patreon. If you go in and you look at, say, her last few months, I mean, she needs something to gain those Patreon subscribers. I mean, you notice that that's falling off. So, you know, you gotta have a controversy. You gotta have something in there. Now, if you look at her Twitter, look at this. It's flatlined for a while, and then all of a sudden, woo! Look at that!
Wow! Look at that!
Yeah!
Wow!
So,
I think we just cracked a mystery here, man.
Yeah, woo! Man. You know what? I may have not. Well, I mean, you look at all of this other stuff falling apart. Yeah, you got to be out there. You gotta be able to do something, right? You got to be able to secure some kind of notoriety. Yeah, that's exactly it. Somebody said the Vic bump. There it is.
Look at that. Holy shit. That's interesting.
I would really, I'm curious. I might go and look at the first time that she posted that, a hashtag on it, or even before, because I'd be really curious. I'm sure we saw definitely in the January. I would bet money that this is.
Yep. Because look at the date. Look at the date. January 17th, right? So that's right around what we're noticing. January, probably. So when did that Broly movie launch? Let me look that up real quick. When did Dragon Ball Super Broly launch in the States? January 14th or 15th, because that's when I went and saw it. I saw it on release day. So go to January around 15, and let's look a little bit before that.
Yeah,
look at that spike. Look at where the spike goes up. Huh. Look at that. Look at that, chat. Look at, we're solving mysteries up in this bitch.
When you look at the other ones, I mean, you have slow climbs. You don't have this kind of arc. I mean, if we go into a month, look at that, you know.
Wow.
Comparing it. Yes. She actually climbs there. Somebody said Vic bump. She's having his baby there. That's funny.
Wow, man. This is fucking crazy. I can't believe it. So we just cracked the code, Tug.
Well, you know, this is, for them, this, in my opinion, that is the way that you hook to Patreon. That is their way. And when you look at her recent, if we say 1 year, if we look at Patreon, she's had ups, but she's been having problems here. So, all right. So 30 days. We'll go with 30 days here. Followers gained 38 plus 32 there. Again, so followers, plus 34.
Views are up.
Trending. Yeah.
Watch time's up.
Peak
Average
viewers are up.
viewers.
Watch time, yeah. Stream time. The only average viewer is down because I don't know whatever doing out there, but everything else is up. It is
You see
weird.
subscriptions? How about subscribers? Is that one
I
up?
don't know what all this gives. I've never actually looked at. I've never actually cared enough to look up people's. Whoa,
Look
there
at
you
that.
go. Followers. Between,
Oh wow!
yeah. So
Look at that. Right around the same date too. Hey, Mars girl, you finding a new niche, huh?
Yeah.
Look at that.
I mean, it's very interesting to see how people go out. Like I say, you can get on a bandwagon, like you said. You talked about her wanting to get a job there, but it's got to be more. She actually has talking points now. This person, and when you start talking about her, then she's attacked by those evil alt-right Nazis, and that'll give her more platform too. So it's a win-win for these people. All it costs is a man that might be innocent. All it costs him is his career and his life. I mean, hey, but these people don't care.
Man, this is crazy.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. Like I think, we deal with very detestable people. We deal with them a lot. We've seen them in all fandoms. We deal with people that are more than willing to burn people's lives down because, like people have been mentioning, faith, because of the color of their skin. And, obviously for gain. I mean, that's the best motivator there. And yeah, I think they're gaining. It'll be interesting watching how this goes over a month. And people have talked about the Me Too thing. Yeah, here's somebody. Me Too is aptly named because it's nothing but bandwagoning. You have a lot of people that, you went from actually talking about a real problem in industry, about abuse and on, to talking about talking about every guy that's ever, hugged or looked at a person with their terrible male gaze.
So for people in the chat, I'm not gonna leave this stream up when we're done eventually, but we got enough people in here now. I'm gonna leave it unlisted for a little while.
In case you haven't seen my last video, I spoke about the conversation that Monica and I had on Twitter, where she made a tweet somewhat addressing the Vic Mignogna allegations. I expressed my disappointment in her decision to believe these allegations without sufficient evidence, and that we should wait before casting judgment. However, her responses were rather evasive to the points I was trying to make, or she would simply use laugh emojis if she didn't have an answer to something. After this, she ended up blocking me even though I never said anything that would warrant this, so as you can imagine I was a little shocked she reacted the way she did, that she felt the need to block me, to silence me. So after all this, she finds herself on the end of a lot of criticism for how she's handled the situation. She went into full damage control mode. Monica opens her floodgates and goes all in, retweeting people's testimonies and talking about believing survivors. Now, you'll see how she wants to shift the narrative to make herself seem like the victims.
Is it okay that I came to see you? I'm so glad. I'm so glad. How are you feeling? Good? How's the surgery okay? Your mom said that they fixed you up really good. She said that you can breathe better and everything. Now you can play the flute better. You're crying, sweetie. Aw, there. All right. I hope I didn't scare you. I didn't scare you, did I? Like, oh, get this weird guy out of my room. Excuse me. Oh, come on. That's not what I said.
What I said was, it is God's love that draws people to repentance, not hatred and wrath and judgment. It's God's love and desire for them that draws them to Him. And you guys, if you have any desire to reach these people for God, you should be telling them about His love for them.
Unless you repent, you will likewise perish. Matt, take a picture. It'd be better for a millstone were tied around your neck and you were cast into the sea.
You're missing
You
the
would
whole
cause
point.
any one of these
You're
little
missing
ones
the
to
whole
stumble.
point. How can I do better? And I learned something, and I wanted to share it with you. As long as I've been doing events, which is a long time, I've always been very demonstrative. Hug everybody, you know what I mean? That's just always been who I am. You could go back and find panels from 10 or Q&A or autograph sessions from 10 years ago, 12, 15 years ago. And I'm doing the same thing. In my mind, it's a way of saying thank you and expressing kindness and appreciation and warmth and support for a lot of people that could use it. You know what I'm talking about when I say that. But here's what I've learned. Just because 1,000 people want a hug doesn't mean everybody does. And I got really lazy. Over the years, I got really lazy. And I got used to being the same person all the time. And I was insensitive to the fact that there could be people out there that don't want that. And it has never, ever been my intention to offend or hurt anyone.